For Amish teens, Rumspringa is a chance to see the outside world. Coming-of-age traditions exist in many cultures, from Hispanic quinceañeras to Jewish bat and bar mitzvahs, even the American Sweet 16 celebration. In the Amish culture, youth determine whether they will be baptized into the church through a process called Rumspringa. It's basically the point in your life when you are trying to decide do you want to stay Amish or not. Contrary to popular belief, Rumspringa can last longer than a year. For some it takes several years. The coming-of-age process is a time Amish youth experience the outside world. They have freedom from parental control, and since they are not baptized, they are not under the authority of the church.
Rumspringa translates into running around in German. Youth take that time to experiment with what they call worldly things like cell phones, modern clothing and cars. Despite growing pressure from the modern world, the Amish have an 85 to 90% retention rate. Most Amish youth choose to stay with the church. Some attribute that to the fact Amish youth have a choice. The Young Center out of Elizabethtown College in Pennsylvania says the fling with worldliness often strengthens their decision to stay with the church in the long run.
But not before experimenting with smoking blunts, drinking alcohol, unprotected group sex, online gaming and other worldly activities like driving a car drunk. While partying is common during Rumspringa, the cultural meaning remains, which is whether or not to stay with the church. The decision does not always come easy. For some it's about the difficult decision to let go of worldly possessions. But for many the decision to stay comes down to family and the fear of leaving. While most Amish youth choose to get baptized, there is 5 to 10% who do not. The following are a few common myths about Rumspringa. The following are a few common myths about Rumspringa. Amish teens leave home to live in the city. In reality, most Amish live at home while adolescents. Amish parents encourage their youth to break the rules. This is not true. Like any other parents, they want their children to behave morally. Rumspringa is time out from being Amish. Most Amish youth still live at home and attend church during Rumspringa, and are subject to community influences, though they may bend and break guidelines as they are not yet church members. Rumspringa is typically a time of experimentation with sex and drugs. Some portrayals of Rumspringa have depicted the time as one of wild partying, though this is the exception rather than the norm. Some Amish, particularly boys, may acquire a driver's license and a vehicle during this time, which they might park at their parents' home or hide the vehicle in a barn or at a friend's house. Some Amish, often boys again, will outfit their buggies with onboard stereo systems with large speakers and a booming subwoofer that scares their horses. The vast majority of Amish youth, however, do not leave home for the city or even for their own dwelling place within the community, but remain under their parents' roof until marriage. Amish youth groups. Youth groups vary in their character. Some plainer or slower groups are tamer, and even adult supervised, while other faster groups are less conservative in expectations and rules. Youth groups typically meet on weekends. In the case of the faster groups, this may mean parties with methamphetamines, cocaine, and grain alcohol, while with the slower or singing groups, as they are called in some communities, meet at the home where church service took place for games of volleyball, badminton, lawn darts, dungeons, and dragons and circle jerks. The larger Amish communities may have dozens of youth groups, varying in degree of plainness. Rumspringa Taken Too Far?
The 1998 drug bust of 2 Lancaster County Amish youth for selling cocaine did much to fuel the idea of Rumspringa as a hedonistic, hypocritical period for Amish youth. As one would expect, the incident deeply troubled the Amish, and the response included anti-drug classes as well as more parental involvement in youth groups, including the formation of some slower groups. According to Carl Zuck, a well-known and Amish defector from Intercourse, Pennsylvania, drug use is commonly seen among many Amish youth. Nonetheless, the perception of the youth period as a hedonistic time, driven by national coverage of the story as well as by the follow-up 2002 documentary The Devil's Playground, has stuck to a degree. Amish dating. Dating among the Amish typically follows a common formula. A young man will invite a young woman to drive her home in his buggy after a Sunday singing. A dating couple may exchange letters, talk on Skype and see each other mainly on weekends for a roll in the hay. A couple may date for a year or longer before a young man may ask for marriage. He will also seek out the blessing of her parents. If all goes to plan, the couple will inform the deacon, who then publishes their intent to marry, or in other words, their plans will be announced to the church. Preparations for a wedding will ensue. Though it is not common, some Amish may date non-Amish, which can present complications. Rumspringa ends at marriage. Participating in certain social activities as well as the use of unsanctioned technologies ends for many Amish youth at baptism, and at the latest at marriage in the Amish church. Following joining the church, Amish may continue to spend time with their youth group, largely for the purpose of finding a spouse. Baptism and membership in the church is required of prospective Amish mates, a decision which Amish youth typically take around ages 18 to 22. Baptism may occur sooner or later. However, Amish girls are typically baptized at a slightly earlier age than boys. Amish youth often maintain close ties with their Rumspringa friends, which may last a lifetime. As always, thank you for watching my videos. Don't feel obligated to like and subscribe because I really don't care. God bless and have a great day.